What's going on, guys? Good evening. Happy Wednesday and post Nvidia day. Just giving it a few more minutes and then we can get started. Good evening, guys. Korsu, welcome in. See you every week. That's thanks for tuning in again. Yeah, it's kind of a let down after market today. Market didn't move much. Still stuck in the same range. Tomorrow, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. I have no idea. The fact that we didn't sell is considered bullish, but tomorrow we're gonna have to wait and see. Market reacts anything pre-market. Of course, guys, welcome in. We'll start in a minute or so. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you guys are just tuning in. We'll go over the market session today, this week. We'll talk about Nvidia. We'll talk about a few charts that we can potentially trade Thursday and Friday. That's tomorrow. And lastly, we'll also look forward to I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Tomorrow and Thursday and Friday tomorrow are going to be super tricky at the open, but hopefully we can break out of this range and get some good action. Good job with Meta today. I think Meta will get tomorrow, to be honest. Today we had a demand bounce. They kind of trapped people under 750 today. Tomorrow, if they rip it, I think Thursday. Thursday is usually the day Meta goes. If you guys know what is up. Today we had quite a good trade. Should have signaled SPY, to be honest. I loaded SPY, I signaled Meta. Should have signaled SPY. But it is 7:01, so we can go ahead and get started. Welcome in, guys. I think today is episode 18 of Stock Tuesdays. Thank you for tuning in again. So if you guys are new, so this is every Tuesday. Usually I go over charts. I'll go over setups that we took in during the day, and I'll also look for setups for the rest of the week. Now, I moved yesterday's episode to today because I thought Nvidia is going to give us something to talk about, but looks like it's a no-show, right? Nothing happened after hours today. Earnings came in as expected. The numbers that they reported does not include the H2O sales. So if you factor that in, potentially it's a bullish move, right? Tomorrow, if they invert this sell, it's potentially could be a squeeze, right? So we'll have to wait and see. Honestly, I kind of was hoping for a nice down day. I was kind of hoping for, if you guys see the SPY, right? I was kind of hoping for this entire move to be engulfed today, and we finally break trend. But the fact that they're continuing to hold the 645 is not a good sign. All right, let's see here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. SPY, I mean, today it's pretty much nothing. I'll just open today's 5-minute chart for you guys. So if you guys were in the chat, this is exactly what I was watching. So there's a pre-market level here on SPY around 645. So basically we did a dip here under 645. 644 was my pivot here because that's the most recent sell here. If you guys heard me mention this on live, 644 is the big pivot. As long as SPY was above 644, we were considered bullish today. We did nothing but a pre-market sell under 645 and then an opening candle rip. This was the pullback area, and we kind of ripped here. Now, I did load the calls here on SPY if you guys were in the chat, but the same timing, you could have nailed anything. You could have caught an Apple, which was a little delayed, and then Meta worked out, and any name at that time, you could have longed and you could have made money on this, right? Today, we in the chat, we signaled, I think, Meta longs and Apple longs and a few other trades, right? I think Tesla was also called out, right? There's a few other trades in the chat, and it was a good green day. Nothing crazy or anything, but most of the trades did 25-30% plus, and we kept the cash flowing. No losses this week, so we're just keeping it moving. And so tomorrow's session is going to be very tricky because I'll go to the 4-hour chart again. You guys see this, right? So the first time market sold off, right? This big correction here. We had the Friday session where what was that? Jackson Hole, right? Jackson Hole happened, and then the market just kind of just like super, just big up rip. Where was that Friday session? I think it's here, right? Friday session. Market just like we had a big correction, and they were everyone's kind of hoping that Jackson Hole would tank the market, and we retest this level here, 620, but that did not happen. Instead, they ripped it, and then most of the options were expiring, so we had a covering rally into the close to set a new all-time high. Now, if you guys were in the chat, you saw me short 655.50 for close to 40%, and then 646.50, maybe once for -6%, and the second time around it again did 40%. So that indeed turned out to be the top, and all we did this week was just fade $1 ranges, $2 ranges back into this demand around 641, 642. Now today, not today, actually yesterday, right? Yeah, just yesterday's session, all we did was just pop back up here, and today we kind of just had one of the most choppiest sessions, especially at the open. We just popped, dropped, and then ever since it's just a zombie grind back into a new all-time high. Now, I really don't have much to talk about SPY tomorrow because I just don't want to develop a bias. Tomorrow, the thing is, my personal bias, I think I don't want market to correct now because the market's really struggling for liquidity. No one in their sane mind is buying at these levels after a big rally like this. I mean, even if they do cut interest rates and we do get more cash available easily, you can expect liquidity into the market. But until that happens, we need a correction, right? Even if you do get money, let's say someone gives you like $10,000, right? You're not going to buy calls, right? You're not going to put money into the market at these levels, right? You're going to wait for a correction, right? It's just a common sense thing to do. So people are just going to sit on cash, wait for a good value add opportunity. And any upside move that we're getting, it's just shots getting squeezed, okay? Now, that's not a bad thing, okay? That's not a bad thing. The higher we go, the more shots will get squeezed. But then eventually when liquidity dries up, we will get sharp corrections, all right? Today, Nvidia report, I'm going to switch to Nvidia here, all right? Now, I'll go to the 1 hour chart, 4 hour chart here. Now, if you guys remember, maybe a few weeks ago, maybe not even a few weeks, I think it was last week, all I did, if you can see in my spreadsheet, right, all I did was just short Nvidia, 184, 183, who remembers that? Put a me, if you do, right? I was kind of obsessively shorting Nvidia, 184, 183, 2, 3 every time, and then eventually we broke that 180, dropped back down to 177, 170, what is this area, 170-ish area. And then when the market popped back again on Friday, we came back here again, right? So this 184 level that you can see, so pretty much the area where we tested it at 180 to 50 level. Okay, that was the top tick today. And then after hours, we tested 183.50, right? Pretty much the all-time high on Nvidia. Now, if you guys want me to talk about their earnings, put a yes if you do, and I'll cover maybe a little bit about that. Or else I'll just move on. Technicals. Put a yes if you guys want me to talk about it. Yes, okay, all right. So Nvidia, I mean, the numbers are pretty much in line, guys. They had a little bit of a miss in revenue, and the key notes that came out of that the earnings is that they did not agree to do the revenue share thing that the US governments are hoping for, which is kind of crazy if you ask me, right? Like which as a private company, if you have something, are you gonna, let's say you guys have a business, right? The US government comes and says, hey, give me 20% of your revenue. What are we, communist China? No, right? Like that's kind of what the US government's trying to do, right? The Intel, I don't know why Intel is a deadbeat company, and they are they agreed to do something like that. Doesn't mean Nvidia and all the other companies are going to just agree to it, because first up, it opens up a can of worms that we don't want to do, right? For example, companies like Palantir, right? Palantir, basically, if they do something like that, the US government's going to get all kinds of access to private data information. It gives them more license to do snooping on US citizens, and we don't want, at least as people, or general public, you don't want something like that to happen, right? Nvidia came out flat out and said that we are not going to be okaying any kind of deal like that, and if they do happen, we're going to do legal action. So that's something that came out. Second thing is the numbers that they released. If you guys know about H2O chip sales to China, Nvidia have been given the green light to sell chips to China, and they have been doing so. Whatever sales they've made, that's not been included in the earnings. All right. So the numbers that they've released, the revenue, it does not include the sales. Okay. So if you factor that in, Nvidia should technically go up like even more. All right. So that is those are the two missing points, and you can kind of tell, right? If Nvidia really did miss, At these levels, we should have inverted the whole moves, right? Now, if you are long-term building short, right, and now I'm not an Nvidia shorts per se, but I'm building some other short positions for my long-term, right? Every time we go higher, just keep averaging in, okay? Eventually, we will top out. We are getting to that point where there's a lot of exhaustion, right? Because you can't nail, this is the top, that is the top. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll get a little pullback and you'll be up 10, 20%. But if that's your goal, you just take profit, right? But if you want to catch like a big move, you need to build a position and then hold through, right? This is the thing. Like if you're like let's say you're day trading, right? If you're like let's say last week I called a bunch of Nvidia trades, right? Now I did make like 40-50%, I think, and the maximum I did was like 75-80%. I didn't catch the 180 breakdown because I traded SPY, but I did catch a lot of portion there. Now if I did long-term contracts on those things, the same thing, right, where I shorted by a little bit more time, 1 or 2 months, I could have caught a little bit more on the percentage return side, right? So you just got to like flip. If you can day trade successfully using in a weekly contracts, you can net a lot of percentage return with tiny risk. But if you are building a bigger position, right, and you need to hold through the whole move, okay? So for do that, don't over leverage, keep adding when you can. Then eventually the market tops out, you can catch the top and keep moving your trail stops and potentially get a big win, okay? Now tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen. If you guys can see, this is the key level that I have here, that 178, 179 area, and then this 180, it's a key technical level. So if they can reclaim this, they still they save the trend, okay? Now market open, I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to see what overnight session does, and they've trapped people under this 180 thinking that this is going to be a miss. Tomorrow, if they invert this 4-hour candle, it's going to be a bullish move, okay? I have 3 levels here, 178.50, 180, 180, 150. If it gets above 2 of these levels, it's bullish, okay? And if it does, I think we are going to see a new high. The reason I'm saying that is because they did sell, but we didn't see big sells. If market opens and we break under this 170, right? What is this, 168? Then yeah, sure, we can see potentially a new sell back into this level here, 165. But it's too early to tell for me, right? Ideally, I want us to go down a little bit more. But what I want doesn't matter. What you don't want doesn't matter. Market's going to do what it's going to do, all right? AMD, yeah, I mean AMD is in today. Actually, I like that 165 under, but looks like we didn't get that move after hours. Again, same thing. Look at this. We're popping right at that 165. So you know what they've done, right? They've kind of made people question what's going to happen tomorrow. Now I hate when they do stuff like this, because bears think it's going to go lower because everyone's looking at income statement, balance sheet, and all the obvious things, right? Now bulls think that it's holding, it's strong, so it could go higher. Man, it's holding. Tomorrow it's going to rip. So you can make a case for both sides, right? And whenever stuff like this happens, right, one side will get crushed, and you just don't know which side. What you don't want to do is don't get caught on the wrong side, okay? So be very careful tomorrow if you're trading any of these semi names, because like ideally they'll do move one way and then the other way, and then they'll rip it one other way. So be careful tomorrow. I mean, you guys are going to be in the chat, so we'll be careful for you. But this is kind of a very trappy area, up down, so we don't know which way it's going to go. So for upside, you want to see above this 170. For downside, you want to see maybe, what is this, 163, 162. Okay. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So this is AMD here. Again, I have no, like, this is, again, it's one big trend, right? So we've tested the high and then we drop. Now we're kind of consolidating here. Could this be a bear flag? It could. Or could this be like a double bottom, triple bottom forming and we rip back to highs? That could also happen. Okay. Yes, guys, we have like over 150 people watching. Make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button. I think I'm like 100 away from, what is this, 8,000 or 9,000? 8,000 followers. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're here. It costs nothing. It's going to help me with the algo. I'll keep doing it, okay? How did you know about Meta today while crashing? The thing is, you guys over-exaggerate the word crash, okay? You guys oh my God, let me remove all these levels, okay? You guys over-exaggerate the word crash too much, okay? Meta is not crashing. The way it consolidates, this is how it will consolidate. It's not a $10 stock, $100 stock, okay? It's going to consolidate like this, and then it'll rip. You're not going to get big moves without one side getting crushed, okay? That's how it moves, and this is why it's a very difficult stock to trade if you don't know how to trade, right? If you guys remember today, let me actually unadd my levels, okay? All right, I want to show you guys the 5-minute chart today. Now, if you guys remember, I said 752. We need to clear that, okay? We need to clear 752, or else we are not going to break. Okay, this is the 752 level. Now I posted this chart way ahead of time. This is the same area in the day yesterday. 2 days ago we were pivoting here. Yesterday we were kind of having a bull bear battle here, and then we reclaimed and pivoted here again. Today opened high, dropped. This is when I longed, came back up here again. Now this is the area where I saw that they were refusing to reclaim. Now if this thing just broke above the 753, right, this thing would have broken out today. Okay, if we just had the 755 consolidation. Remember, I was trying to short Meta at the 755 last few days. If you guys remember, Monday and Tuesday, I think I signaled it on Monday. Monday I kept trying to short this 755, 766. It worked a couple of times, but just market was just too choppy. Next day, same 755 level held, and then we dropped $6-7 here. Popped again. Today, same thing, level held, and we dropped. Now, I should have signaled SPY today, in all honesty. The last few days, I just kept signaling SPY, so I wanted to signal something else that potentially could be a 100% trade. Meta, unfortunately, did not break out today, but that's why I took profit. I think 36, 37% or something it did on this. We did sell high, we didn't hold, and once it dropped back down here, we tested this 742 level, popped back up again, came back down again. Question for you guys. Tomorrow, if I trade Meta, where will I trade it? Let's see if you guys can answer this question. Tomorrow, if I take Meta, let's say to the long side, which way? Where would I get in? Right? Again, it's an education thing, right? So I'll wait for 1 second and then I'll answer. Let's see if you guys can answer it. Both 752, reclaim of 20 EMA. I don't use EMAs for entry, but 752. Yeah, 752 is a decent answer, right? But the thing is, like, what I want to see is most likely today's entry area, right? Today's entry area, I want to get it reclaimed, right? Because the first thing is you want to see 750 clear, I agree. 750 and 752. If people were short today, you got to think like this, okay? If people were short today on Meta, let's say it failed. So once it failed 750, people could have shorted it here, and then they could have had it down lower again. Now we pop back up again, and we saw that this entry low of the day here, right? This previous low of the day. There wasn't really a lot of selling here. So we popped back up here again, and then sold back down. And then after hours, we pop back up again. So this area's liquidity has already been tapped. We pop back up again, sold. So tomorrow, if we get above this area, right, this can be again, wherever I long today, the 747 level is again a long. Now, you guys are right, 750 and 752. Okay, so tomorrow I'll just draw, like I'll give you an idea. Now, it'll be nice because if I am recording this session, right? So tomorrow if we do pop, right, I want to clear 750, 752, and then it'll fail again, right? If this thing does held again, we can re-enter, and then second time around, we're going to go. 745 is a very obvious triple top. We're not going to hold again, so we're going to break out. Okay? This is a potential trade. Now, people like, someone said, oh, Meta crash. It's not a crash. Why is it a crash? Right? This move where it happened, it's 0.6% on Meta. It's not a crash. Meta, when it rips, it's going to rip 5% on the day. Okay? That's how you need to think about. These are all consolidation areas to create liquidity in the market. Okay, so we gotta wait and see. But this is the kind of move I want to see happen. I want to see us clear. I want to see us tap, and then I want to see us go. All right. I don't know if it'll happen. Maybe market crashes tomorrow. If it does, we'll be under 745. I actually like it low. So this 745 level, right, that you see here. If we do sell off even more, this will become supply. I can take a reject here. All right. Again, guys, like this is the thing. Yesterday I said 745, 746. This is the supply, right? You can be short on this too, but the thing is, the market was shorted here, shorted here, shorted here. Today was the fourth day. SPY I was longing. SPY bias was bullish. Now I thought Meta will also go, but the fact that it didn't go, that's it. It's as simple as that, okay? That's why I got the best possible entry, and I thought if it did end up breaking out, we would have had like 100, 200, 300% trade, maybe even more, considering it's a Wednesday. But it didn't. It was weak. That's why I had to sell. So SPY, if I actually signaled my SPY entry, which I did tell you guys, but that actually moved a lot better for me because I had zeros, I had 1 DTEs, and it never was able to trail me out. It just kept going. Okay. And today Unraveller say Nvidia will go up tomorrow. I said I don't know what's going to happen to Nvidia. Right? I said I don't know what's going to happen to Nvidia. If Nvidia is a short tomorrow, it needs to go down and lose 160. What is that? 170 or something like that. And but if Nvidia is reclaim 170, 850 or 180. On the third level I have is 180, 150. Tomorrow market open, you'll see. If this 4-hour candle gets inverted, which is not that hard to do, right? It's just $3 move, right? We are going to get an easy inversion, and then this 184 is all tapped out, just like Meta's 555. Sorry, 755, and it could break out. Um, I don't know. I don't want to have a bias tomorrow. I'm not. I don't. I'm most likely not going to trade chips tomorrow. It's going to be hard for me to signal to you guys, and it's going to be hard to keep 10% risk. If I trade Nvidia or something like that, I'd probably wait to see how it acts. First half an hour, wait for the IV to cool down, and then trade. So yeah, no, most likely I'm not going to signal or trade Nvidia tomorrow morning. All right, we saw Meta. Another name I wanted to talk to you guys is Amazon. Actually, okay, I have been trading Amazon for maybe a couple of weeks now, like maybe a small position to test out how it is trading. So this inversion move, right? This inversion move has been popping. We kind of tested the golden pocket and we're wrapping up here again. Okay. So tomorrow, if they can take out this 230, 231, ideally 231-ish area, right? I actually like this to the long side. Okay. This is something that's showing relative strength. Today, they kind of didn't participate on with SPY's move, but tomorrow, if it can, this can break out and potentially, what is the recent high, 638. Even if I am able to capture one or two deltas, this is something worth watching. Okay. That is Amazon. Apple. Look at this here. Apple, we kind of had a little. The guys got a preemptive move on the 230 break, and then once 230 broke, you kind of saw, I don't know, I think they did a 24%, I believe. And again, it's much a choppy market, but it was a very nice entry. But Tech did not actually participate in SPY's move. SPY just was moving. Tomorrow, if Tech can join the party, we could get a bigger move. All right. Can you show your price bar? Price bar is shown, Sue. I don't know. Is it not shown? Oh shit. Okay, I see what you say. All right, there you go. All right. Hopefully that makes sense now. Okay. I have to adjust this layout. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, Apple is choppy. I mean, you gotta kind of pick and choose when to trade Apple. This is the thing is like Tech didn't move. Even the thing is, I got Meta also, but if I didn't get the bottom tick entry on Meta and I chased it at the highs, right? I couldn't have gone a 35%, 35, 36% entry. You had to literally bottom ticket. That's exactly why I took the risk and said 747, 747, and I had the contracts. So I said, dude, if I'm going to signal something, might as well signal this, and that's exactly why I signaled it. Because I did not think it's either that or SPY from me. There's nothing else I was going to signal today. Everything else is ass. It's just not moving. Tesla next. Okay, let's look at Tesla. Tesla. Yeah, Tesla is kind of selling after hours here. The breaking trend after hours. Again, what happens after hours is not of significance here, but the level I have is the 344. If you guys remember on live, I believe yesterday I said 344 is the demand here, and I want to see this hold. And we actually had a very nice move yesterday. If you caught the dip, and today we kind of just inverted that whole move. So under 344, this is a bear for me, and it could potentially drop to 338, 335. Nothing doing. I'm not going to trade Tesla here. For upside moves, you want to see an inversion and get about 352. Nvidia earnings really impacted the market. It's not really. You guys like read too much. It is. You guys say it really impacted the market. This is not nothing. This is nothing. I don't think you guys like realize like if the market, this was really bad news, market would be down a lot more, right? If you go to read Honey Trip chat, I said we need a -2% day or something like that because market's not selling. We are at all-time highs. A single bad news should just tank everything. But not. That's not happening. As much as I want it to happen, it's not happening, right? So it's so important for you to not develop biases, especially with day trading. Okay, just keep it simple. Tomorrow, if the market is holding, focus on something that's relatively strong and just focus on that, right? Every day, don't think crash, 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 because if you are a crash-like person, I'll go focus on SPY. SPY 580 onwards, everyone's like crash, crash, crash. You would have missed the greatest bull market. Your your year-to-date P&L would have suffered if all you just kept saying was crash, crash, crash since SPY 580. Ever since this happened, everyone's like crash, 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 crash. Not everyone, most of the online Twitter and all of those people. Okay, and all we did was tread the trend here. If you were following us in Nidrip, right? Every bottom, every swing low I've actually caught. Not a single swing low have I missed. Every swing low I've caught. Maybe I would have taken a few 5-10% losses, but ultimately I caught every single swing low throughout this uptrend. Okay, And you got even the most recent swing high. If you guys remember that Friday where you guys like shit on me for a 6% loss, I said for 646.5. The first shot 655.5 did 40%. Second shot 646.5 was the most recent high. Okay, and of course today after hours we did break it. So that's how you need to trade. You'll take a little 5% loss here and there, right? You can't lose like 10, 20, like 50% losses and whatnot trying to short something in uptrend. But eventually, when you see exhaustion, you will have to switch biases, right? And the problem with the most recent market is we are trending up, right? But the problem is these ranges are lasting for for a long time. This is the biggest problem right now in the market because these ranges are kind of becoming annoying here. Let me show you guys something. Where is that? Man, this is kind of becoming annoying here. Look at this is one. This is 6 days of price action, and again here this is start of the week, another 6 days here. So market is ranging for 1 week straight, up and down after a big move up. So now we've had that range move. So tomorrow we're gonna see either we're gonna push above these highs, or we're gonna like break down and come back to test these lows. Just be careful because I will tell you this from experience. When market reversal days happen, right? Everyone gets used to shorting supply, meaning shorting resistances. If anything goes up, buy puts. If anything goes down, buy calls. Okay? The market kind of trains you into a bad habit thinking the trading is easy. So all you do is just buy calls at the bottom, buy puts at the top. Then when big reversal days happen, right? You stay holding an average down instead of just selling or cutting your losses. Those kinds of reversal days take a lot out of traders' profits. Okay? So if you don't follow your risk management on these days, you're going to give up days, weeks, months, maybe even blow your account. Okay, so be very careful tomorrow, especially the open. Anything can happen. This week I've built some good cushion so far. I do want to go on the offense. You know me. I'm kind of like annoyed. I need to make some moves tomorrow. Today I didn't like try to force the issue because I called it a day quickly. I made like a 3 trades. Today, thanks to SPY, I was able to build some good cushion. Okay, tomorrow open you have to be careful, but if it does start trending you can go on the offense. Okay, the first hourly candle forms, and then Friday is Friday, who knows how it's going to be. Okay, just be careful tomorrow open. All right, how do you define strong day when you have, I mean, it's not a one word answer. I'm not going to be able to explain that with just words. Okay, if you are interested in learning all of that, the link is in the description. Just join the wait list for my mentorship. I don't know when I'm going to do next batch, but if you're interested, I'll teach you there. All right. Okay, let's look at some more charts. Let's look at LLY. Someone asked LLY. I mean, LLY, we did sell here. Look at this. I said like we could sell here, and we are selling. This was, I think, the earnings reaction. Popping back, first time integrating back past supply. Now, ideally, it just goes back up. If it loses this green box here again, right? So it is going to come back down. So we did have a little dead cat bounce here. So what you want to see happen is this area ideally at least consolidate for a bit. You want to see this area consolidate for a bit and then eventually go back up. If it does not do that, right? If this thing does not do that, it could come back down here. Okay. Now if it comes back down here and then consolidates, it could go back up. But if not, it could come back down here. All right. So it's again in a very tricky position. I could go this way or that way. I really don't know much about the financials behind this or what the news is happening. I'm just talking to you about technicals, okay? So it's at a critical point. It's these little green box areas are usually magnets, okay? So if you have a big trend bottom happening, you almost certainly you'll see it high here. But basically, if you're trend long here, you're basically plugging into supply. You'll become liquidity, okay? So wait for consolidation. Once the move happens, then you can either move your stops up or sell for a little profit, okay? Guys, we have close to 200 of you here. Please hit the like button, the subscribe button. I'm close to 8K followers, so let's get that done before the end of the week. Thank you always for your support. When making your first and second trim, how much do you take off? I mean, me personally, Chris, I have a contract, so it depends on whether I'm risk on or off, okay? So today, for example, Meta, I did not take a single trim until it broke 650, okay? The reason for that, I'll tell you the reason for that, is because I was long SPY, and SPY was moving really well for me, and I was green. All right. So I was able to sell some of the SPY zeros to go green on the day, secure some profit, and then update my risk. Okay. But once 650 broke and we broke, I think it was 33% or something, I took off half of Meta and was holding half, and I was also moving my trail stop on SPY. Now, once I saw that Meta was not able to go, I full sold Meta and I just focused my position to SPY, and I was able to hold SPY more. All right. As much as it sucks to say, you can only hold on to trades if you actually feel confident and if you have a little cushion for the week. If you all you've been doing is losing the whole week, this is why I always say, people always say, Andra, why do you say you have to trade every day? The thing is, people mistake this whole concept, okay? The reason I say you got to come every day for cash flows, because let's say you only take three trades a month, 4 trades a month, all right? You are a very patient person, or you have super high standards. The reality is you probably just don't know how to trade normal, like a little tricky price action, okay? But the situation is, if you don't trade daily, you're not building up a cushion for your account, right? If I don't trade Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, tomorrow market price action is good. I can't afford to lose. If I go in with full size or try to do something and I make a mistake, I'm down for the week now. Do you guys get it? But because I did some effort and I made some cushion, whether it's a 20% trade or 30% trade, I didn't lose. I just kept making some money here and there, scalping here and there, wherever I can. Even it's a couple of grand, it builds up a cushion, right? I have made some good money already this week in 3 days worth of hard work. Whether it's shitty price action or like great price action, it doesn't matter. Money is money, okay? Now, tomorrow when the great price action comes, I feel like, man, this is really good. I'm willing to lose 10K, let's go. I can do that, and if the price action really is good and a directional, right, then I will make a big gain that day, and I can hold. Does that make sense, guys? Put a yes. Okay, so it's a very fine balance, right? You can't overtrade during bad action also, so you have to be very disciplined and take profits, but your focus should be cash flow. Lose small, try to get good wins, build your cushion. When great price action days come, you need to have something worth losing. If you don't have anything to lose, if you don't have some cushion built up to lose, how can you go on the offense, right? This is my argument for traders that say I only come will make 2 trades. You see, the thing is, this is actually true. You'll make your biggest profits on those clean trending, clean days. This is 100% true. That's true for me also. But you won't be able to execute with confidence. You won't be able to execute with size if you've not been trading all month. Does that make sense? It's like a sport, as I told you. Day trading is like a sport. If you don't show up every day, try to do something with the market, you're going to lose touch. You're going to lose confidence. You're going to get like a shaky fingers. You're not going to be able to push that trigger, right? It's as simple as that, okay? Everyone's different. This is how I operate, okay? If whatever you do works for you, it's fine. But no matter what, I got to come every day and perform and make money. And that's why I will never be scared to signal a trade. I'll signal no matter what. Right, last few weeks, if you go look at it, I'll signal 2 or 3 or 4 trades. I don't care. If it's a range, I know it's a range. I'll keep my risk tight. I'll risk 5%, I'll risk 10%, I'll take a trade, right? But if I'm right, I'll make 30, 40%, right? It's fine. It's cash flow. Okay, next trade, right? That's it, okay? This is what I will recommend you guys doing. Know when to go on the offense and defense. And when market's bad, be size down, decrease, keep your risk small, get to cash flow, and then run to the exit. When you have a little cushion and you see that market's breaking structure or trend and there's volume coming in, big candles, momentum, go on the offense, have a little wider stop loss, execute, and ride the trend. Don't take 10%. This is another thing, right? If you never trade, and the only time you trade is when good price action comes in, notice this guy, like if you are like, for example, like when Nvidia, remember the guy when last week or something when Nvidia was selling, I had Nvidia puts, I had SPY puts also. I did not. I said, keep holding, guys, keep holding, right? I held till the target, right? You can't, if you're not trading regularly, when the great price action days comes, you'll just sell for 20%, right? Trust me, 20% gain is like, it's not much. You got to make more, right? You have to win big, right? You have to win big. You have to lose small. This is the formula for success. And you'll only be able to win big if you have a little cushion so that you'll hold your trades when eventually the market moves in your favor. Okay? All right. That's a little bit of advice for you guys. The question was, when did you take your trim? I went on a tangent and gave you guys like a whole lesson on holding. Open. Meme stock craze. Yeah, like I mean, if you guys know what you're doing, do guys. I don't have much of an opinion on these. I actually last Friday I actually had a position, but it went pop like 10%. I took profits on this. Again, like I don't know. Tomorrow it could come. It could go to zero. Tomorrow, if some good catalyst comes, it could go to $8. I don't know. Just be careful. If you don't know, most of these moves happen because of squeezes, and the thing is, you don't know what institutional hedge is on this. If they might want an exit, they could have popped it up, and then when retail gets in with the hype, they could immediately liquidate everyone. All right, this is just like what is this? This is the scam coins. You guys know the scam coins, right? They'll pump something, and then when everyone gets in, they'll dump it, right? So very similar. Be careful. I know what this company does. I know it's that you have an empty home and they go in, you kind of check out everything, right? But again, these companies are all ass, like they don't make any money or anything like that right now. It's just the hype. If it goes, it goes. You make money, great. Just like GME. If anyone that made money, they'll say, "Oh, I love GME." Anyone that lost their houses on GME will say they hate GME. Okay, so don't put all of your money on stuff like this. Just keep it chill. The thing is, it's trend still holding. If I draw a little trend line, if you want to be technical about it, technicals don't matter on these kinds of names. Okay, if it's a dump, everyone sells. This is the structure, right? If we lose this 370, everything sells, right? I'll just draw a little line for you guys, just to be technical about it. This is where most of people's technical stops are going to be at. All right. This is the opening close here. This is the reversal pivot here. So if this they loses, this is going to go to 250. Okay. So make sure this trend line and this level holds. All right. There could be a liquidity grab or anything, but I don't know. Okay. After hours, it looks like it's popping 4%, but on the day it dropped 14%. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. PLTR. It gives me it's very surprising. On the markets at all-time high, you get like news like this happening. To be honest, right? These kinds of moves, very interesting. PLTR. PLTR. Yeah. Like if you guys remember last talk Tuesday, I said we could get a liquidity grab at this 142 area. This is a perfect retest. The candle closed above. This was the retest here of the green box, and it popped up again. Looks like we're retesting here. Now, if you want this to be fake, you want to see this, any new long entries, you want to see it above this level, okay? 164, 165. Now, if this thing breaks this green box again, next time around, we could see this back test to this level here, 140, okay? Now, PLTR, I mentioned this last time. When it's momentum trading, when it's on momentum, don't go trying to do crazy, all right? Wait for it to form a bottom and then take a trade. This could reverse. Looks like I put an arrow here already. It could go up, retest, and go up again. All right, that's what's happened. Went up, came back down, then went up again. Now tomorrow you want to see this 4-hour invert. It all depends on what SPY does, and individually what happens here. And I don't know. Okay, I am not going to trade in these kinds of levels. But whatever you do, don't go thinking buying dips. It'll keep going up or something like that. Okay, names like this, when they sell, they can sell hard. The only good thing about PLTR is the high was here, the low was here. It's corrected 25%. So this is so if we go from for people who are buying it here, right, you can go back to highs. It's like a 50-40% return. All right, 40-30% return here. All right, so if people who bought here, these areas, they're all like chilling with the trail stops. So if they do rebuy and re-add, this could go back up and invert this candle. So yeah, keep a good eye, guys. I mean, we don't want to lose the structure here. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, 148, 147. This is the area for PLTR. Guys, hit the like button, guys. Hit the subscribe. Appreciate it. How do you identify it's great price action or not? You want to see ranges break. That's a good question. You want to see ranges break. So if you see one big day which happened on Friday, you can kind of expect Monday is going to be an inside day. That is, we're going to trade within Friday's range. Okay. If we break to the highs, it's going to be most likely a false breakout or something like that's going to happen. Now, Tuesday, yesterday price was supposed to be good. We did pop back into supply again, and today it was kind of I would say move back into the same hype, all-time high. Okay, that's kind of what happened. We didn't create a new high or low. Market was waiting on Nvidia, and Nvidia didn't do anything. So SPY is back at that 645 level after hours. Look at this, 644.80. Now this is the same area. I remember price I was long SPY today. 644.80 is where I long. High of the day was 647.50. Now tomorrow, you guys can see SPY, they saved the trend after hours. So they saved the trend after hours. We're trading above the 80 MA here. So tomorrow we're gonna know if they get back above this 646, 647. Then we have maybe we'll have a risk to 650 to the end of the week. Move to the end of the week. Okay. What is the time? Okay. All right. We've got 10 more minutes. Would love to keep my swings around 2 to 3 days. You should take advice. That's the thing. Most of the swings right now is gearing towards short side. Okay, but the problem is you can't time the top. Okay, you can't time the tops. All you can do is dollar cost average into short swings, and if you think like you can put your whole account, this is the thing I will always say though. Like, if you think that you're going to put your whole account into something and like just like, it'll just go magically 100%, you might not, right? This is why I always say make your money day trading, get some cash flow. Unless you have like multiple businesses that's generating crazy cash, you can say I don't want day trading. I'll just put long-term investments and leaps and all of that. But if you're actively trying to get out of that cycle, 9 to 5 cycles and whatnot, you need to daily make cash. At least let it be $100 or $200. You need to keep making money. You don't have to trade every day. Trade 1 or 2 days with good price action, but try to get some cash, try to build some cushion. And then once you make some cushion, when the good price action days comes, you can go on the offense and make more money. And then withdraw that, put it into your long-term account or swing account, make some more money, right? You can't just do one thing and think that, oh, this will be enough. You got to do a mix of long-term, a little bit of day trading, a little bit of swing trading, and maybe a little bit of selling, option selling and stuff like that, and try to get cash. Don't go over the board. Don't go crazy sizing on any one of these things. Like, kind of, what does they say? Diversify yourself, right? Do a little bit of that, a little bit of this, and that's how you build your your portfolio and your year-to-day profits as well, right? Most of year-to-day profits, especially in a year when a market has gone like a ripped, right? Everyone, you go to look at long-term portfolio, everyone's long-term portfolio is probably up right now, right? Everyone's long-term's up. If you bought the dip, you're up, right? Most of your year-to-day profits is coming from that, and then your day trading, and if you make a nice profit via day trading, your P&L is going to be up. So everyone should be having a good year in the markets, right? For the most part. And eventually the market's going to top out. Now they're going to struggle. People are going to sell. Year end's coming. People are going to want to sell for tax purposes. A lot of things are going to happen. And liquidity is a point right now. For people that have money, they want to sell off. So there's a lot of things that could happen. Okay. Any other stock, guys? What else? AMD, we saw. Nvidia, we seen. LLY, PLTR, Meta, we've seen. Anything else, guys? Any other question? General question? I'll stay for a little bit more. Of course, Mr. Ronan Singer, CrowdStrike, Snowflake, of course, Coin. Okay, let's look at a few more. All right, CrowdStrike. Let's look at CrowdStrike. I think CrowdStrike had earnings, right? I saw a drip or a dip in this case. I thought I saw a drip. Yeah, this thing is selling. Look at this. I said this is the area that's going to trick. This is what they'll do. If I the few tickers I saw, right? When you come to an areas of interest like this, look at this. They popped it here and then they ripped it down. Okay. So when this area breaks, this is the big sell trigger. It popped back down here. Now, this does look bullish to me. I thought it was a bullish report here today. Maybe it will invert it tomorrow. Keep an eye, guys. Tomorrow, if they get it above 425, this is a long. Okay. I know we're like quite a far away from it, but this low here is 410. If they do inverted, this is all low volume sell. So tomorrow, if they do inverted, this could be a trade. Again, if you guys haven't traded CrowdStrike, this is going to be a very widespread name, and be careful when you're trading those low liquidity names. Like you could potentially, if you get a bad fill, you can lose if you don't be careful. Okay. How does your entry work? Is this levels, Jesus? Usually a break of level or a hold of level or a reclaim of level. Is VXS your hedge? Yes, VXS is my hedge. I've added a few times. I'll keep adding. It's a long-term hedge. I'm actually building quite a big position on that. I will keep adding to that. Not trying to say this is the top or this is the bottom. I'll keep adding as long. And I'm adding equity. I'm not doing options. So I'll just keep adding equity. And I'm targeting a 45 plus push. Okay. When you say pivot is an area where bulls and bears have stop losses. Okay, so that's where bullish, bearish biases are determined. How do you choose your entries? Levels, just like I said, right? So key levels, break, holds, reclaims. Today, Meta was a reclaim 647. That was the key level for me. It held. The idea was 750 shorts would be covering. So I was thinking of a break above 750, and that's what we did. Why did you chase your strategy from bounce rejection? I mean, market's in a range, man. How can I change anything? My market was trending. I was calling bounces. How many bottom ticks did I call on SPY? Chat, confirm. Right? I'll go back to SPY chart. Right? Market's ranging. What am I going to do? Trading bounces. And I am trading today. Today again called a bounce. Today I did trade a bounce on Meta. Right? Today I called. Today I called it or not? Like, this is the thing. Trade what the market is. This is the thing. I nailed the whole uptrend from the bottom till the top, right? So you can't really, like, when the market's exhausted, right? How do you keep like trying to do all of that? Today I did call the bottom on Meta, but the thing is, you gotta understand, markets in a tight range right now, and it's waiting on news and catalysts trying to trick some people. You got to be defensive every day. You're not going to get those 100 200% trades, right? To be honest, doing better than most people, even getting you 30% 40% trades. Okay, what year in your trading journey did you become profitable? Profitable is a very subjective line. I've actually been making green all of my years in trading, but if you're talking profitable and living income, I would say it takes me like three years, 3.5 years to get a good, make something good out of my money consistently. Okay, anyone can make money when the market's good. In 1 month, they'll be like, oh man, I'm great, but the next month they'll be red. Okay, consistently, regardless of condition, it will take you 2 or 3 years for sure. You need to experience multiple cycles in the market, very strong uptrend, very like strong downtrends, very cyclical choppy markets, right? Like, like bipolar markets where the market's good one day and the next day it's bad, right? And then multiple news cycle markets where there's a market just heavily reliance on headlines for big moves up or down, right? So you need to go through all of that. It'll be a phase where you'll make some money, you'll give back some gains, make some money, give back some gains, and eventually you'll kind of know when to go on the offense, when to go on the defense, and that's when you'll feel that you are doing somewhat good. Okay. I mean, Rav, do you plot your levels on 4 hour, 1 hour, and 5 minutes? I do 4 hour, J. Okay, 4 hour is most of my levels are 4 hour. I do plot 5 minute levels sometimes based on if I see something good in the tape or something like that, but nothing more than that. Look at Coinbase for now. People are asking Coinbase. It's a dead chart. There's nothing there. Look at this. There's nothing today. Nothing. There's a nothing chart here. It's a $6 range today. This is shit, right? If you want to take any trade, like wait for it to clear this level, 330, something like that, and under this, if it breaks 295, next level, yeah, it's a breakout area. So the next support is around 270. Okay, it's nothing here. Okay, you can try to get anticipation trades, but honestly, these kinds of names are very low liquid. Look at the volume here. It's as we saw some other name like this, right? What was that? I forgot what it was. You guys open the chart, right? So be careful on these kinds of names because it could go up or down, but don't. The thing is, you can trade any name, just keep it tight. Okay, let's put it that way. Trade any name, just keep it tight. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, keep your risks tight. Nvidia we've talked about. We can watch the replay. AT&T looks good. It looks good. Look at this. It's inverted the move. Big sell-off. It reclaimed this 4 hour candle. Just keep your stops here around 2880. Looks like it's going back to highs. Someone said screw AT&T. Hey man, he might have a leap or something. Who knows? Oh my god, just ignore this. I think someone asked me the same thing last week. I said dead chart. Don't worry about this. Okay, it will eventually break out a range, upside or downside, but there's nothing happening here. All right, you can't day trade this. Just buy if you're like really looking for long term. Buy time. Just keep holding. Eventually a move will happen. The trend hasn't even flipped, so the longer they do this, the longer they chop, and if they drop it even more, again it will drop. Don't these kinds of moves, don't be too early to the party. Just buy a lot of time if you do. Okay, buy a lot of time, and then eventually, if it's a good company, it'll go back. How far do you go back for your levels? For me, most recent levels play more importance. ATL, yo-yo. So for example, if I'm trading a trend, I'd like to pay attention more to the most recent levels. But pretty much whatever I have to go back as much as necessary. Okay. Yeah, we need great GDP news. Yeah, tomorrow we have what is this? Thursday, jobless claims, GDP, pending home sales. Oh my God, it's going to be all kinds of shit. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what GDP comes in, and then jobless claims. Home sales is also kind of important. So yeah, so we'll see. And then Waller speaking. Friday is even more actually. Friday is the one that I am really looking forward, and I don't even really care about data that much. But Friday is going to be the big one. We are Friday. I'll be live on YouTube again. Okay, so I'll be live on Friday again, and we'll see what we do. Um, what is the best trade? I mean, it's a very subjective. Dollar wise, I've made some good trades. Dollar wise, I've had like great swings before, six-figure swings even. Day trade wise, I think Amazon, Meta, Tesla's, I've done like pretty good numbers. Uh, Execution wise, there's like many. Usually every month I'll think one trade is like the best. Oh my god, this is the top take. The best trades for me, you've seen me take many trades and I posted this on YouTube also. The best trades for me will be the ones that I get an entry position and I'll say that, hey, I want to see a wick above this and fail or something like that, and it'll do exactly what I wanted to do exactly on the dot levels, and I'll add position, and then I'll say, guide, I'll do an exceptional additional add on size. I'll do 3 ads with 5% risk, and I'll let the trade go in my favor. Those are the kinds of trades that I'll have an intentional ad size with proper defined risk. The trade will completely be textbook. Everything will play out exactly like I wanted to. Those are the trades that I love the most. Okay, because those kinds of trades, the once it moves away from my stop, I'll just keep moving my stop. I won't take trims. I'll just keep moving my trims, moving my trail stops, and then the moment it triggers one of my trail stops, that's when I'll sell. Okay, those are the best trades in my book. Okay, what helped you to be better at tape reading? I mean, you just got to keep trying. Just keep watching every time you take an execution, keep watching the tape. It's a very hard skill, guys. Honestly, if you just think you'll watch a video and you'll understand, that's why I don't even answer questions like that. It's such a low effort questions. Oh, what do you think about this? What do you think? You think if I tell you like one word, people think that you'll understand tape. It's not easy at all. It'll take you years and years and years of screen time to get good at it. Why do you think most people don't even try? Right? Why do you think most people don't try? Because it's that difficult. It's easy to just watch something, but to make sense of something, to see buyers, sellers actively, it's super difficult, right? 99% of traders don't do that. Okay, only the top of the top traders do that, and even then it's difficult to get a read because of how much volume and crazy things happen in the market. Okay, the best advice I can give you is you need to know what you're looking for first. For that, you need good education. The second is you need to keep watching the tape every time you take an execution, all day, every day, and then with enough practice and repetition, you'll be able to recognize patterns and be able to make actionable decisions. Can you explain what time were mentored? What is the benefit? I mean, like, you can check out my website, AP. Okay, there's no time or anything. I don't know when I'll do my next batch, stuff like that. So you gotta just go look up or monitor my IG story. Okay. What is the time, guys? I have to call it. I have to go teach AMU after this. It's been great. Tomorrow I'll see you guys in the chat. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Friday I'll be going live again in the morning with Brett for a pre-market. So join in there. I'll give you some trade ideas that you can execute on 0DTs. Okay? Again, pleasure. Thank you for joining. I'll see you guys in the chat tomorrow. Have a great night, guys.